Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Green Philosophy. Today, I wanted to share some of my favorite highlights from Christopher Hedges' Empire of Illusion, The End of Literacy, and The Triumph of Spectacle. The main concepts. First, Americans have lost touch with reality. I would interject that while the majority of Americans prefer fantasy because the political, economic, and social reality is too difficult to bear, I think the residents of red states are more in love with fantasy, and the residents of blue states are less in love with fantasy. This corresponds with the lower educational attainment of red state residents and the higher educational attainment of blue state residents. Next, our functionally illiterate society prefers spectacle over a complex, factual conversation. Next, a high percentage of high school and college graduates will never buy nor read another book for the rest of their lives. Next, the majority of news, music, and entertainment is produced by corporations who prefer to keep the public mesmerized with distractions as opposed to engaged citizens who might threaten their power. Next, capitalism and the corporate state have emasculated institutions you would think are liberal. Case study A. University of California, Berkeley chose to cut down exceptionally old oak trees in order to build another building, and the majority of the students looked down on the tree sitter students who campaigned for more than a year to save the trees as irrelevant, weird hippies. So much for the tree hugging ethos UC Berkeley has a stereotype for. Case study B. Student organizations prioritize causes that will enhance the resumes of the student leaders. Trendy causes like Darfur are prioritized, while causes like globalization and the corporatization of the university are ignored. Next case study. Coca-Cola has exclusive rights to the college dining halls and football stadiums of the liberal university. This has compromised their integrity by allowing a monopoly to dominate their drink sales. Next, UC Berkeley plans to allow donors to purchase lifetime tickets to their football stadium for more than $200,000, which is an elitist gesture. Another elitist gesture of UC Berkeley is that they place rich students in dorms with nicer facilities and meals with swanky names, while poor students are placed in generic units with worse food. Ironically, Ivy League universities use lotteries, which make student dorm placements more egalitarian. Also ironic is the fact that nuclear research takes place on the UC Berkeley campus in secret laboratories, an inherently centralizing and anti-democratic technology. Next case study is the New York Times. The New York Times was a cheerleader and an enabler for the Iraq War that was undertaken by George W. Bush's administration on false pretenses. Oftentimes, journalists are merely courtesans to the power elite, which means they are mouthpieces to the elite's agenda and do little to investigate or challenge the agenda of the elite. Next, while you may be tempted to think that an Ivy League education would help individuals to cultivate a life of the mind, to prioritize intellectual inquiry and personal self-reflection, according to Chris Hedges, that happens with only a minority of graduates. In practice, it's more of an expensive spa that pampers the rich who diligently turn in their work to their professors, but maintain a subservient to authority, drone-like mentality. Mediocre students can be admitted to Ivy League universities as a second-year student if their families donate enough money. The admissions department carefully obscure this fact as they admit less than 1 in 10 regular applicants, but then 14% of the class is made up of disproportionately wealthy donors' offspring. Consequently, Ivy League graduates end up in corporate America and government with minimal critical thinking abilities like Warren Summer of Wall Street, which makes forging new paradigms and solving problems unlikely, keeping societal problems as intractable. hubris and the competitive attitude cultivated in Ivy League universities further hinders positive social change. I hope you found my reflections on Christopher Hedges' Empire of Illusion to be helpful, and I look forward to your questions and comments.